Welcome to Compassion Speaks, where we give a voice to the nonprofits in the community. I'm your host, Stephanie Player, and today on our show we have Laura Higgins, the Community Service and Scholarship Director, and Brian York-Smith, the principal from St. Anthony's School. Welcome, you guys.
Morning.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for being here today. I'm really excited to just jump into this because I am excited to learn, as I'm sure all of our viewers are as well, about St. Anthony's School. So let's just jump right in about what is St. Anthony's and what's it all about?
Well, St. Anthony's School is a small but growing private Catholic school here in the White Mountains. We offer a private Catholic education for kids in the area. We service kids from Show Low to Pinetop to White River to Snowflake.
Wow.
So we have kids coming from all over the area. We're blessed here in the White Mountains to have such wonderful choice when it comes to schools. We've got incredible public schools, we've got incredible private schools and charter schools, so it's nice that the people of the White Mountains have that kind of choice. And so we offer something that we think is pretty exceptional.
Oh, that's wonderful. Well, and can you tell me what sets St. Anthony's apart from the other schools available in the area?
Sure. Well, our vision is basically to educate a child's mind, body, and soul. So, we try to address the whole child, everything that's a part of what a kid needs when they're growing up. And so it's more than just academics. We have great academics. We have incredible teachers and incredible staff. We work very hard, just like a lot of the other schools,
And great test scores.
Yeah, they do very well academically.
Wonderful.
But what we pride ourselves in is the other programs that we offer. Community service is probably one of the biggest focuses that our kids get to be exposed to as they are learning. So not only are they learning math and reading and writing and all the academics, but they're also learning how to have a giving heart, how to give back to the community, how to enjoy giving back to others, fostering that internal motivation to want to help others. And I think for me as an educator, that's one of the things that I love most about our school is that we're creating an atmosphere of giving and loving and giving back. And so I think that's really what sets us apart.
That's awesome. Can you give me some examples of some of the community service projects that the kids have been involved in?
Yeah. Well, luckily we have Laura Higgins as our community service director, and she gets those kids out into the community in a variety of ways. You can see them throughout the year, ringing the bell for Salvation Army in the winter, going down to the Love Kitchen to help serve at the Love Kitchen, helping out some of the other churches. A lot of times our kids will go to the Baptist church and help sort food for their community food bank. And a variety of other types of community service that the kids get to get involved with. So again, that's something that we we're passionate about, and I think our kids are really fostering that sense. And I've seen kids that have graduated, 8th graders have graduated and gone on. They're still doing these things. They come back to our school and they still want to participate and still want to give back. And so we're seeing the fruits of that.
What's nice is that I call the kids and say, well, we're doing this community service project. We're doing something where you can help if you want, because this is on a Saturday, and they jump right on.
Oh, that's amazing.
It's always been our dream that it becomes a habit where they really enjoy helping others.
Right.
And when everything is said and done, when they have that doctorate or that degree and that job and the family and everything, what really matters is how much they want to help other people.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And that's something that passes on generation to generation.
Yeah.
You receive that as a child, and that's something that you want for your children as well, to carry that spirit on.
Right.
How fabulous. And I think that you guys really illustrated how that really sets you guys apart, because a lot of times there is a focus, that, okay, we have to get these academics in there. That's, of course, an important piece.
Yeah.
But there's some social and life skills that can be missing from that environment in a school system. So to incorporate that as part of your mission, as what you set out to do, to set these examples for the children, is just amazing. I'm so impressed.
So if anybody is still sitting on the fence as to where they want to send their kids in the fall, they might want to check St. Anthony's out, because we do have spots available in pretty much all of our classes.
Wonderful.
And
we have an excellent junior high program too. That we've got a great sports program. Our kids, we are involved in a smaller league that involves some of the smaller private schools up here and throughout the White Mountains. But they do very well with the sports. We play volleyball and basketball, and we have different sports throughout the year. So, we do offer it all, and we're very proud of what we can do because of our smaller class sizes. We can get out on field trips. We go on big end of the year trips. We've been to Washington, D.C., and we go across Arizona for a week at a time, and really put some concrete hands-on to what the kids have learned throughout the year.
That's awesome.
So our junior high, we're again able to do a lot with them because we have smaller class sizes, and so we can, really provide an enriching experience for them.
Wonderful. So
and Stephanie, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but our first graduating class got together. They're still very close, and they got together, and this week they are on vacation together in San Diego.
Oh my!
I know, they
coordinated all by themselves. They just kind of did it together.
And they fundraised, and they just wanted to spend some time together at the beach.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Very cool that they
Away
were
from
able
mom
to-
and dad,
Yeah.
maybe. Huh?
A little bit of a exploratory type of trip as brand new graduates.
Right.
Good for them. That's amazing. Wonderful stories. So right now you have spots available for the next school year. And if people are interested in getting their child enrolled, do you guys have a website that they can go to kind of get more information? What's that website?
It's www.stantschool.org,
Awesome.
StAntSchool.org.
Okay.
And, we have pre-K through 8th grade, and they can find all the information about registration, scholarship opportunities, everything they need to know at the website.
And people are oftentimes scared of the cost just because Catholic education is typically known to be expensive. And it is expensive, but not to our students or their families, because we have so much scholarship money available.
I want to touch on that. So how does the scholarship program work? Can you give us an overview?
Well,
of that?
the state of Arizona is wonderful, and they enacted about 13, 14 years ago the tax credit. And since then, they have expanded on that, which is wonderful because it allows our student body to grow. And so the tax credit is what our scholarship fund is made up of. And those credits are more than $2,000 a person every year. That's the maximum. You can give up to that much.
Wow.
And it is a credit with the state. It's actually a credit. And it goes all to scholarships. By law, it has to go to scholarships.
And you can direct it specifically to go to St. Anthony's?
Yes,
the
you
tax
can. And if the child that you're interested in directing it to is not your own child, you can direct it to them also.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
It really is. And when this law was first enacted, and still until today, we get comments like this. Oh, I don't believe the state of Arizona would be so nice to give their revenue away. But they really want private schools to continue.
And it's important that there's a a variety of choices for parents and families to be able to find what fits best for their child. So let's say that someone is interested in enrolling. They've heard what you guys have to say. They go to the website. What is the process for them in order to receive that scholarship?
Well, they have to apply for a scholarship.
Okay.
But that's right online, and it's easy. It takes about 20 minutes. Some people who don't have internet access have actually come to the school and have done it in about 20 minutes.
Wonderful. Okay.
And then they have to call Miss Heidi, and Miss Heidi is the secretary at our school, and she knows, you know, how much availability there is in each class. And they talk about that, but you know, it's still early in the summer, and a lot of attrition happens in July and early August. So even the class, like last year, at this time, there were 17 signed up for our kindergarten. And by the first day of school, it was down to 13.
Wow.
And so we were able to have a couple of spots
Wow.
in our kindergarten, yeah.
So you just never know. You never know how things are going to end up progressing. But the main thing is to get in touch with you guys, you know, whether that's through the website, coming up to the school. You guys are open and available to answer any questions for those maybe new families that are interested in and wanting to get their kids enrolled, find out about the program. So is there any way, let's say we have someone watching and we've talked about the tax credit, but is there any way that people can get involved if they don't have any children, but they want to help to support St. Anthony's and what it is that you guys are all about, and maybe helping out some of the kids? How can they get involved, and what can they do?
Well, we definitely have a lot of volunteers that help support St. Anthony's. The St. Rita Catholic Parish has a lot of volunteers that come and help tutoring. You know, we've got retired teachers that'll come and help with some tutoring, or just if we have some work projects, need to fix something at at the school. The Knights of Columbus come and help, and we've had other community members come and say, "Hey, how can I help out? I'd like to get involved." And we've got an incredible art teacher, and she's all volunteer. She comes and she teaches our art program, and she's absolutely wonderful.
Wow.
So, you know, we exist, and I really believe that we're blessed that we have all this great support, and we're able to offer a really quality education because of all the extra support. But we're always looking for more help. So,
Right.
we'd
And
love
if
to talk to
anybody
them.
has any extra cash that they would like to send our way,
Sure.
as far as giving money, people can always do the tax credit. And we are going to be kicking off a capital campaign later this year or early in 2016 that will help us build a St. Anthony school on land that has been donated to us.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
What
Yeah.
a big project.
It's a huge, huge, huge project, and that's why we are giving ourselves a little bit of time to get ready for it.
A big undertaking,
Yeah,
but
definitely.
that's exciting news.
But just to plant the seed out there, your viewers can know that we are doing this, that we will have this in the offing. And I wanted to say to you too, that you do not have to be Catholic to come to St. Anthony's. Granted, we have our student body go to Mass every Friday at 11 o'clock, but we have students from every faith. We even have a Mormon family. And I say that because typically LDS people don't support Catholic school, Catholic education. But we just love how diverse we are.
That's important.
Yeah,
It
and our
is.
parents love how diverse we are. And the kids don't care at all. They just love making friends and having a fun time at school.
And I'm glad that you touched on that, because I think that's probably a common misconception that people have for private school educations, is feeling like you have to belong to that faith in order to attend. And so you guys opening up, and welcoming everyone with open arms is is very wonderful, especially for our diverse community that we live in, to allow for everybody to come in and feel comfortable and accepted there.
Definitely.
Wonderful. Well, thank you guys so much for coming to talk about your school today and all of the wonderful, exciting things that you have going on at St. Anthony's.
Well, thanks for
Yeah,
having
thanks
us.
for having us.
We'll have your website information at the end of the segment here, so if people want to get in touch with you, they'll be able to get a direct link to that. So thank you again. I really appreciate you coming and stopping by and talking with us today.
Okay.
All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And stay tuned. We'll be right back with Erin and Michelle from the Family Advocacy Center. Welcome back to Compassion Speaks. Joining us now is Erin Ulibarri, the Executive Director, and Michelle Adams, the Forensic Interviewer from the Family Advocacy Center. Welcome, you guys.
Hi, how are you today?
I'm good. How are you
Good.
guys?
Good.
Thank you so much for coming today. I'm excited to hear about, I know about the Family Advocacy Center as the Safe House and the FAC work together pretty often. And I wanted to have you guys on because a lot of people really need to hear about the services that you guys provide and kind of just know overall what it is that you guys do and how you support the community. So I wanted to kind of jump into that. What is the Family Advocacy Center? What is it that you guys do?
It's providing services to children that have been sexually or physically assaulted, and it's a starting point for a healing process.
So children that have been sexually or physically assaulted can come into the Family Advocacy Center, and what happens from there? What is it that you guys do with them?
We turn it over to Michelle. She's the expert at this.
So Michelle, what is your role with the kids? What is it that you do?
And so usually the first step is I'm contacted by law enforcement immediately if they get a call in on, as Erin was saying, child abuse, child molestation, or any type of sexual assault. Law enforcement will then contact me and we'll set up a forensic interview. That is the first step to the process of meeting. And when they come into a very neutral atmosphere, and I introduce myself, and then I'm able to build some rapport with whatever child is brought in. And then from there, just myself and the child go into an interview room and we talk about, things that had happened after building much rapport, because I have the one time to talk to them and get to know them and their story and what happened to them. From there, we then, are able to discuss as a team. We have a multidisciplinary team that is amazing up here in Navajo County. And we then decide if the child, in fact, needs a medical exam, which is a sexual assault examination through NACASA. And then we proceed from there.
So this is, the whole purpose kind of behind this is to make it a streamlined process for the child involved, as opposed to maybe before you guys were in existence.
Yeah.
If a child was reported to have been physically or sexually assaulted, they would have to talk to the responding officer and then maybe a detective and then the prosecutor. There was all these people they would have to explain what happened to them to, and this allows it to just be one person that they have to talk to. That's you, Michelle.
Absolutely.
And so they don't necessarily get re-victimized and having to tell their story over and over again to all these different people in the systems that help them.
Exactly. We're trying to reduce, trauma to these children. I mean, and like you were saying, about 7 years ago, if something had happened or a victim of these types of crimes, they would talk to multiple people. But not only that, if they needed an exam or if they needed an actual forensic interview done, they would get in the back of a police car and drive all the way to Flagstaff or Phoenix. And by that time, that child had been through so much, it would be hard,
Right.
To even speak to them.
Right. Well, that's just amazing, and I don't think a lot of people, we work in this field, but a lot of people don't necessarily know how impactful this is to improve what kind of services we're providing to children that have been impacted by sexual or physical violence in their lives. So thank you guys so much for the services that you provide. It's so important, and every time I talk to you guys, I feel you on this because I can completely understand from my perspective, but these numbers keep going up that you guys are serving. Every year the numbers increase. Can you give me an idea of how many children that you've served since you guys have?
Since we've opened, we're almost at the 800 mark.
Oh my goodness.
So we've seen over 700 children
Wow.
at this time.
Wow. And every year I'm sure those numbers continue to grow.
It keeps growing and growing and growing, and we're constantly busy. Michelle's got a full calendar all the time. I've got different things going on as well as the administrative part of it. But it's serving the children and their families, and families are getting more and more involved. They understand their services that are getting at the center. They understand it's a one-time, one-shot. It's not exposing them to all the different agencies.
Right.
They come there, and with our state-of-art technology, they only tell the story once. It's recorded, downloaded, and it's done.
Right.
Makes it easier for them.
Exactly. Easier for the family, easier for the victim in that situation, definitely. So let's say we have somebody who is watching the show and they are, they need to get involved with you guys in some way, shape, or form. They need to report maybe a child in their lives is being affected by sexual or physical violence. How is it that they can get in touch with you guys essentially to get this child in for care?
The most important thing with a lot of these cases that I cannot stress enough is that they contact the local law enforcement, whatever jurisdiction they're in, is please contact the local law enforcement, and then law enforcement will contact us.
So it's not a direct call to you guys. You do have to still go through the normal reporting methods for that, which ultimately kind of initiates you guys into that process.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And it's not, we have, the numbers speak for themselves, obviously, but it's not. I've interviewed anywhere from a child that's been molested from the age of 2 to a mentally handicapped, older, in their 60s. It's so broad of who and we can service. So, it's been a child that's a witness to a crime, not necessarily a victim themselves, but if they've witnessed something, then they would get a forensic interview rather than sitting there and being talked to by police over and over again. So even drug endangered children, or, it's just so broad of what we can do and the services that we offer.
I'm glad that you touched on that too, because it's not just what fits into this box here.
Yeah.
There's so many different avenues where somebody might get referred to your program in order to help to support that particular child and or adult.
Yeah, absolutely.
That is going
Anything
through
that a child has been involved with in any type of crime, we are there to help. Obviously we specialize in sexually abused and physically abused children.
Right. Well, and I know that there's a lot of families up here that are extremely grateful for the services that you have provided for them and their children, to assist them in getting safe, because that's the ultimate goal, right, is to identify
Absolutely.
if this child is in any danger and has been abused or harmed in any way, and ultimately help in the process of getting that child safe and in any prosecution of the person that committed this crime against that child.
A lot of times it's not just keeping the child safe that's initially been traumatized, but what if there are other siblings involved in the home and the perpetrator's still there? It's our duty to turn it over to the Division of Child Safety to get this reported, law enforcement to be informed, because there are other children involved. It's not just to protect the one, but to protect the whole family.
Right, all in all. Very good. Well, what you guys do is so incredibly admirable. And I know every time that we talk, it's, how are things going? Well, they're busy.
Yeah.
That's the last thing that we want to hear in our lines of work. But at the same time, we're glad to be able to provide the services that are obviously so important to the community. And that's why we stay busy.
That's why we stay busy, and we're open 24 hours, 7 days a week. So Michelle's on call, I'm on call. We're there. We know it's part of our job, it's part of our lifestyle, but we've chosen that option, and we're there to serve.
That's wonderful. So I'm sure there are a lot of people that this has really kind of pulled on their heartstrings, what it is that you guys do, what your mission is. And I'm sure they're probably asking themselves, okay, I want to get involved somehow. How can I help this organization? How can I contribute in some way to it continuing to provide this important service? So how can people get involved? Do you guys have any volunteer roles that you need filled? Is there any way that people can either volunteer their time or contribute financially to support you guys? What are their options?
There's lots of options, and we always come up with creative ways of helping somebody volunteer their time and their needs, sorting clothes out, collecting toys, just different things. One of the smallest little impact is Kleenex. We go through a lot of Kleenex because there's cry stations everywhere because it's so emotional that we get involved. Right. And one thing you can do is, if you don't have time to volunteer, but you'd like to get involved, drop off a box of Kleenex. That's a reminder, somebody else can use that.
Absolutely. Yeah. The little things that, you wouldn't think would make a big impact, that kind of, that Kleenex makes a huge impact, to be able to have that, to not have to go out and buy that as an organization, but to have that donated as well.
Right. And speaking of buying that as an organization, we are not federally funded. We are not state funded. We're not city funded. We have no grants coming in. We strictly sustain ourselves by donations from members like you, from the community itself, businesses here in town. It's not a surprise to us sometimes to receive $100 and say, get what you need, or buy what you have to get, that kind of thing. And it's really appreciated because, we don't know where the next dollar is going to come from. And the feeling, when you're basically self-sustained,
Right.
Where is it coming from next? And the community comes through.
I always do. We have such a giving community up here.
We do.
And a lot of people, they're looking for kind of their niche. They want to get involved in a program or a nonprofit up here that speaks to them and speaks to their heart and what it is that they want to assist with. So you have an event coming up. That's another way that people can get involved, learn more about your agency, learn about the Family Advocacy Center, and help to support you guys as well. This is a fundraising effort. So tell me about A Royal Affair. What is this?
A Royal Affair. Boy, are we talking big time here. It's Project Runway 3, but this is our third year. It's a fashion show that's going to be held August the 1st. At the Honda, and so it's really great. The doors will open at 10 o'clock. The fashion show starts at 11, and this includes lunch, a dessert auction, and a silent auction. We have a lot of good entertainment, special guests that are showing up, and one of the things is we are going to be honoring our royalty on the mountain, which is the homecoming queens and kings, and our regular Navajo County royalty, that type of thing.
Wow,
Yeah.
How fun is that? So this is going on August 1st, and we'll have your contact information at the end of the segment for those who want to get tickets.
Right.
But you can get tickets in advance, and it saves you actually some money than buying them at the door.
And there's some everybody gets a goodie bag when they come in, and Jewelers, Helmut the Jeweler is providing us a special prize for our guests that come in. So that's going to be wonderful too.
Nice.
Lunch is going to be great, and my understanding, the chef at the Honda is preparing a huge carrot cake that's supposed to feed I don't know how many people. But it's kind of exciting. He got all excited. He says, "I'm providing the carrot cake," so that's going to be entertainment in itself. And like you said, we have tickets on sale now. Last year and the year before and the year, it's like they've all sold out. So get your tickets early.
Right, absolutely. Well, I hope that you guys sell out again this year. What an exciting and unique way to kind of celebrate, get everybody together and help to support the Family Advocacy Center with that.
Right.
Well, thank you guys so much for coming on today and talking about the Family Advocacy Center and the upcoming things that you guys have coming up. And I hope that we can garner some additional support for you guys through getting the word out today.
Great.
Thank you again for coming.
Thank you so much.
And thank you for joining us today. Be sure to tune in next month to hear Compassion speak.
The White Mountain Safe House is a private, nonprofit program dedicated to providing shelter, care, and advocacy for victims of domestic violence. If you or anyone you know is in need of services, please contact our 24-hour hotline at 928-367-6017. If you would like to support our organization in any way, please visit our website for more information at wmsafehouse.org.